drafted in Brazil. It's great that you're coming back with Dre Day, a famous diss record. Is Trysta Krick, who has Trysta has never, text us the night before. Yo, I can't wait to come on. Yo, I can't even wait till 2:00 to come on. Move my time slot up. I'm ready to talk. And Trysta chose violence today as she comes in. Go ahead, pose the question to the broad audience that you just asked here on the live stream.
All right, so I'm gonna reframe. Okay, so Keegan Murray, long, athletic, shoots threes, straight line drives. Are we all on board with Keegan Murray's absolute? I call him the wish version of Kyle Kuzma. I think Kyle Kuzma is a better elite, more fluid athlete than Keegan Murray.
I agree.
So if his absolute upside, his absolute ceiling is probably below Kuz in terms of just because of what he's limited by athletically, then why not just get Kuz? Because you could have. Tommy Shepard been salivating to keep Bradley Beal happy in D.C. with Jaden Ivey. Jaden Ivey's probably one of the only rookies that Bradley Beal would have accepted into the womb of, his team as a backcourt tandem. And then you get 10. That was a deal that was on the table, and lots of teams wanted Jaden Ivey. You just let him go for nothing.
Well, for me, you're preaching to the choir. That's what I've been saying for the last week and what I say today. The one thing that I will push back on that is when you talk about Kyle Kuzma, he does have a contract situation. And if you're the Kings and you're trading for, you can't trade for a guy that's on a 1-year deal or has a player option or something like that. If you're making that trade, you've got to sign him at least for another 2-3 years. And I don't know how that works when you're negotiating a trade, or what's legal, what's not legal, or what he would accept. So that's what would give me pause with that. But basketball wise, I agree 100%.
Well, and I'll push back on this part. We think his ceiling might be Kyle Kuzma, but what if it's not? What if he's better? What if he's significantly better?
Then you would have lost the trade, I guess. But
I'm saying if you've got all of these different, you got all of these things potentially lingering with Kyle Kuzma, why not draft? If the result is his ceiling is Kyle Kuzma, why not just take? He's cheaper, he's younger, he could potentially be with you for a really long time. Why not just take Keegan Murray?
Because he's not, in my opinion, he's not better right now. I feel like he's better for you right now.
I feel like he could be Kyle Kuzma this year.
What?
Or a shade under. What was Kyle Kuzma was 17. Kyle Kuzma was an inefficient 17 and 7. What's it going to be 15 and 5?
Hold on.
You tell me you'd rather have Kyle Kuzma if Keegan Murray is 15 and 5? We've been riding this.
15 and 5. 15 and 5. I talked about this yesterday.
Kuzma could get you double-digit rebounds.
That's the other thing I want to see from Keegan Murray. I want to see him be a better rebounder.
What did Kyle Kuzma average in rebounds last year?
It says 6.2 for his career. I don't see last year.
Actually, I think he was 17 and 7. I think that's
17 and 7.
That's why I feel like that number sticking in my head is because it was last year's. Is the 17 and 7.
Yeah. So I don't think you can just, and this is very nerdy, but you can't just get quick twitch ability like Kuz. And I'm not even a Kuz fan like that, but Keegan Murray sometimes looks like he's running through cement.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I hear a lot of people in the chat talking about Keegan Murray's ceiling is Chris Middleton. What the hell are you?
That's what Keegan Murray is saying is Keegan Murray's ceiling.
Keegan Murray, he don't move good enough. He don't dribble good enough. He doesn't shoot off the bounce good enough today. And I haven't seen anything to think that that's going to change to sit up there and say his ceiling is Chris Middleton. I don't see it. Maybe he develops a whole lot of stuff. And that's the other thing you got to think about when you're talking about 19, 20-year-old kids. He could develop a whole lot of stuff. But I'm pretty sure at 21, Chris Middleton didn't look like Keegan Murray. So I don't think he can be Chris Middleton. Cools. And I'm going to push back on the pushback. I don't know why people think Kyle Kuzma is this bad basketball player.
No, he's a good basketball player.
I think he's good.
No one's saying he's bad.
Not you, Damien.
Kuz is just a heat check. He just wants to run a team. He wants to be the focal point of the offense. He doesn't really love the side role. He loves the spotlight. So sometimes it's he makes decisions like on the same par as Buddy Hield, and you guys know how that rolls. So I think it's mostly that, but like athletically, what he can do, you've seen flashes of excellence from Kuzma. I would take Kuzma on the Portland Trailblazers right now in a heartbeat. I almost cussed. Absolutely. What did you guys think about my man Shaedon Sharpe going to the Blazers?
Well, that was the first thing we thought about was you. I think the first thing we said on the air was I think Trysta might be feeling this a little bit.
Yeah.
I got convinced. How can I say that? I am now, I don't know. I'm nervous. I'm nervous about it, just like I would be nervous. I'm less nervous about it than if you guys did it. I'll just say that. Like, I think you could kill Shaedon Sharpe. You guys could kill him.
That's the type of statement you follow up with. No disrespect, just I feel better with
you guys agree. You guys agree.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think that was a great deal for everybody involved. I think that's a great landing spot for Shaedon. I think that's a great draft pick for the Portland Trailblazers, obviously, because I've liked Shaedon Sharpe since I've seen him.
You've seen him live?
No. I saw him sometime during the college years when he came on my radar.
Gotcha.
But I think that's a good look for both parties, really.
How fast do you think he can turn into something?
It's hard to say. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say. It depends on how
the opportunity.
Yeah.
What did you say?
I assume he's going to be given the opportunity.
That's what I wonder too. Do you think he plays the three? Because you got Anthony Simons, you got Josh Hart. I assume they want to keep Josh Hart. Maybe they want to put him in the backcourt off the bench. And then Simons and Dame are kind of defensive sieves, sort of similar players. Dame obviously coming back from injury. Maybe Simons is just there to kind of be the bridge for Dame's health. But like they're talking about wanting to build a contender around Dame right now. I love the Jeremy Grant trade, but they better do something else because I don't know that that's like a contender.
But they got better?
I think so. They weren't operating from a great spot.
Well, I was about to say they got better than what they were. I don't know if that's good enough. But they got better.
Well, but good enough to what?
To make the playoffs. I don't know if it's good enough to make the playoffs. That's the case. But they got better.
Accidentally not that far away.
Yeah, they were.
And they tanked. Like they actually did tank and they were still accidentally not far away.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see what ends up. But like Dame went to the playoffs 8 straight years and wasn't happy with that. You know what I mean? Like, let's not forget that Dame had playoff experience. A lot of it went to the Western Conference Finals, and he was like, I'm not about this business. So I don't know. It feels as a cynical person, it feels perilously close to Dame's. I had a dream about Dame last night. We had a FaceTime call about Shaedon Sharpe. That's how deep I was in the mock draft grading system right before bed. So I don't know if that's an omen that at some point they're gonna.
What did you guys talk about on FaceTime?
About Shaedon Sharpe.
Of course, that's great. That's great. I love that so much. By the way,
go ahead?
I just want to point this out real quick. Chris Middleton's first handful of years in the league, 6, 12, 13, 18, 14.
How many years? Was he a G League guy?
That's the ages of 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25.
Baby, what is he doing?
That's what his numbers are. I just say he doesn't look to have that type of.
He developed a pro basketball player.
No. You're not hearing what I'm saying. Nobody else is. That's like saying I think Keegan could be Kyrie. Like he don't move like Kyrie. He doesn't have that skill set. Production wise, sure, he could be better than Chris Middleton. But to me, that's a bad comp because I don't think their games mirror each other at all.
Except for they're both kind of slow. That's like what he was trying to say is that I'm not athletic. And Chris Middleton, he literally said, I'm not that athletic of a guy. For the top 4 pick, I need an athlete.
Well, you got to go back on that a little bit. If you can play, you can play. I don't really care what your vert is. If you can get it done, you can get it done. So
yeah, I mean more athletic in terms of shiftiness when there's a guy in front of him. Like, is he going to be able to get by guys in the NBA? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Even with all the spacing, will he be able to, does he have counters? Does he have the ability to like drive past you, not in transition in an open lane dunk? I'm curious about that. And I also am curious for you guys, what's the deal with your front court situation? Like, are you against a rim protector? Is Sabonis committed to play 5? What's happening there? Because I like Mark Williams and I like Jalen Duren.
I like those guys too.
Sabonis is the 5. Keegan will be the 4. At this moment in time, Harrison Barnes will be the 3. Most of us think that's going to change, but
so do you have a rim protector?
Oh no. I think the closest thing we have to a rim protector or a rim protector is your boy, your favorite, Rashawn Holmes.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know how much minutes he's going to get. Feels like.
I think there'll be time for him. I don't know where. He's going to have to, like, he couldn't establish himself last year at all. Like, it was just one awful thing on top of another. I still think there's a lot of good things he can do. They've got to figure out if he's on this roster, how they're going to utilize him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm very curious because
it's probably not ideal, by the way. If he's the backup center, it's probably not ideal. They might be better off with Damian Jones as the backup center.
Yeah, and I'm also like curious about whether Sabonis should be a 5, like maybe a small ball 5 sometimes, but he's like a negative defender, is he not? Like, unless something changed that I'm not.
Everyone who wears a Kings jersey is an
besides Davion. Maybe Davion could play rim protector for you guys. That would be sick. Davion, small ball 5.
One thing I know, Davion would be down. Davion would be like, cool, coach, whatever you need.
We're going to need you in post-up situations to play small ball 5.
And he'd offered up more resistance than a lot of the stuff that we've seen over the last couple of seasons.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel?
About what though? Like about last night, about the Kings,
just
like
the future. Yeah, just the future.
6 or 7.
No, probably about 5.5.
5.5. I'm right there with you, Damian.
About 5.5.
Yeah, I think so too. What are the people in the chat saying? Because I'm on this StreamYard. I was looking at the YouTubes. I actually saw a couple people in the YouTube saying that Trysta girl is going to be pumped from last night.
The Trysta girl is ready to rock for sure. It's like it's kind of like we had a poll question. I can tell you what the poll question said. We put it on youtube.com/ESPN1320 where we asked how you're feeling the day after. With about 700 votes in, 30% say great, start the season now. 52% say let's see what happens, and 18% say hungover. So I think overall, and that actually reflects quite a bit of the reaction to Keegan Murray. It was overall positive, but it was still kind of like, all right, like I don't love it, but I don't hate it. I think I just kind of like it and need to see what happens next.
Does Jaden Ivey just pull a Eli Manning to you if you just take him?
Nah, hell no. No, absolutely not.
No, right? So I guess the question is, like, he was probably the most valuable chip there. You know, I don't think
Monty McNair said if Keegan was Monty said if Keegan was there, we were going to draft him. That's
all right, Monty. Well, it's not just about players; it's about other assets as well, my guy. So.
Trista's trying to take on all of Northern California. That's pretty much what it is.
But that's not. I mean, I don't. But I guess you could just say that I'm more unfiltered, you know, because I have no real base.
Well, no,
come after me.
Your reaction right now is ours last night.
Yeah,
like it's the in the immediate impact of the pick. It was like, oh, they really did it.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Kenny launched in because I couldn't say anything. I was speechless. Kenny launched into a 2-minute diatribe about this isn't just about the pick. It's about what you had available to you. And, you know, you can question whether what was actually available to Monty McNair or not, but it really did sound like there was interest, if not even in Jaden Ivey, certainly interest in having the 4 pick to assure you get who you want. We wanted to move up shoot, how many times did we talk about moving up to 2 to get Paolo Banchero?
Number of different
players. Been a miserable failure yesterday.
and the other thing about it, the other thing about it, Trysta, is I look at it like this, right? I look at the Kings, and I'm seem to be the only one. All right, I put a playoff mandate on them personally. I was like, they need to make the playoffs. Monty McNair needs to do what he needs to do to make the playoffs. And I said, I like the roster a little bit more than most, but I still say, hey, you need about 3 pieces, right? And I really don't care how you get the 3 pieces, but you got to get the 3 pieces, and they have to be good enough. And last night, it felt like they had an opportunity to get 2 pieces, and they just got 1. So now it's like, all right, well, you got 1. How are you going to get the 2 other ones? And that's what leaves me scratching my head. Like, how are you going to complete this offseason with the assets or the lack thereof that you have? And I'm not really seeing where they'd be able to improve enough this offseason right now.
Yeah. I mean, at least you don't have like a big free agent with a decision to make. And you were planning on trading your pick to get a veteran point guard. And then you ended up taking a Big Ten guy, a rookie who, may or may not be the face of the franchise in the DMV now. So at least that's not y'all. Like, at least you guys haven't had any of that success.
I guess that's the good news in all of this. At least Washington did get better. It felt like Detroit did, which doesn't really matter to us. It kind of feels like, correct me, did Indiana get better?
I love Ben. I do. I don't know
what's gonna sting. I'm just that's gonna sting.
I don't know if they necessarily get better.
They are not.
I'm not sure what's happening there.
Yeah, it's it's a little bit of a mess, low key.
It is. It's like, are you keeping Miles Turner? What's happening with TJ Warren? I haven't seen him since the bubble.
Well, Miles Turner could be their Harrison Barnes. Like, if he's here, he's here. It's not the worst thing in the world. If he's not,
it's also not the worst.
I mean, maybe we just trade Harrison Barnes for Miles Turner, and they can run the Indiana Kings, and we'll just run the Sacramento Pacers out here.
Yeah, I mean, that's an idea. I guess they want to see what Tyrese Halliburton and Miles Turner look like together. But I don't know. I mean, Brogdon's there. They got a lot of things, a lot of pieces happening. Chris Duarte, it's a lot of things that don't really quite get me there to say I'm excited about the future. Even though I love Ben, and I think Ben's going to make a difference, and I think he's an impact, and maybe him and Tyrese, do they play well together, the same style of basketball? I don't know.
We didn't really get to see.
Well, look, I mean, if we're looking at things right now, we talk about the Kings and what they did in the backcourt. Indiana's got Tyrese Halliburton, Malcolm Brogdon, Duarte, Mathurin, and Buddy Hield. What are we doing there?
What are we doing here?
Flamethrower, Buddy Hield.
My friend asked me, and I'm going to ask you guys this. And he said, you guys are going to laugh at me saying this question. It's not for me. Do we know who Buddy Hield is? Or is he a product of three dysfunctional organizations and 3 poor coaching situations? Is there a way that we can really assess whether Buddy Hield has a higher upside?
So what you're asking is, can he be Andrew Wiggins?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yes.
My answer is no. But I look, there's nothing that says that if he got into a perfect situation that maybe he'd buy in or something. Maybe. I think he kind of is who he is, but I don't know. Maybe because to your point and to your friend's point, we've never seen him in a good situation. So we don't really know how
Andrew Wiggins is a smart basketball player and always has been. That's the difference.
No, there's that too.
You can determine that to mean whatever you want to, but Andrew Wiggins has always been a smart basketball player regardless of his situation. It got magnified this last stretch in Golden State and really in this playoff run where he played a huge role in the NBA Finals, particularly against Jason Tatum. It's a fair question, but I think the answer is definitively we know exactly who Buddy is.
And he will never change.
And you've got to take the good with the bad with him. The good has the ability to be really good, but you're going to have to take some bad. And if the true question would be, what would Buddy look like if you surrounded him with a better roster?
Right.
Like, Kenny pointed this out at one of the points over the last couple of years. If you put him out there an ability where you can hide him and he just doesn't, that's it. Yep. Yeah. Because then his flaws, which will still be there, you don't notice them as much because you've got a bunch of other people there to pick it up.
That might just be what Golden State ends up doing if they don't pay Andrew Wiggins. It's just find another big, long 3-point shooter gunner to just play a role.
I'm positive Buddy's going to wind up on the Lakers somehow. The Lakers absolutely believe Buddy.
I'm surprised he hasn't already been there.
For real.
The other thing about Buddy is like I don't know where he'll get or who he'll be, but he's not a starting two guard in this league.
Right.
He is a guy that comes off your bench. His only job is to shoot. He's not going up against other elite guys on the defensive end where he can get, burned or an elite unit that can burn him. If he comes off on the bench, plays your 17 to 20 minutes a night, he'd be cool. But this is what I talk about with Buddy. Would he ever accept that? I don't know. I'm not. My head says no, he wouldn't accept that. Like he'd be hot and would do more or be the disruption when he gets in there or whatever the case may be. So I don't know if he has it in him to accept that role in this league.
League Pass Team of the Year prediction for 2022-2023 season.
Detroit.
Yeah.
For me, absolutely Detroit. Yeah. With the Oklahoma City Thunder as a
so close second. It's close.
I love that. Chet's got mad. Come on, man. I told you on the phone. I'm not going to repeat it.
I know. Yeah.
I already know what you're going to say. I'm right there. I know what you're going to say.
Yeah.
I know.
Chet,
you can tell in interviews, can't you?
Oh,
God.
You're like, a real one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I thought you were from Minnesota.
No, Chet's going to have a girl named Tanisha by the end of the year. I guarantee.
And Tawana.
So all the names in the DMX record, he's going to have all of them up.
He a real one. I was going to say, just how quickly forget about Charlotte. God damn.
Oh, yeah.
Charlotte is, those two teams are very fun. They haven't surpassed Charlotte for me.
Did you guys hear the new rumor is that Pistons are going to go after Miles Bridges?
Yeah, we heard that. Bridges and Ayton. But now, didn't they take him? Did they take Kemba Walker?
Yeah, they're gonna waive him.
Oh,
they're gonna buy him out or whatever. So it's just like for the picks. But the extra pick that they got, R.I.P. to Kemba. The extra pick that they got may be what ends up getting the Miles Bridges deal done. So Charlotte might have inadvertently helped Miles Bridges head out the door. You look like you're drinking what Miles Bridges drinks, by the way.
No. What Miles Bridges drinks. No, not at all. That is healthy for you, not what Miles Bridges drinks.
I'm just playing.
That won't kill you. Trysta, real quick, I want to ask you while we got you, what do you make, and did you ever waver when all this took place? What do you make of what happened in the middle of the night on Wednesday night with the Paolo stuff? Paolo, it goes crazy. And then Woj says, no, don't listen to it. This is the 3 until an hour before. Is it a situation where it was all, once that came out, it was always going to be Paolo number 1, or did something really change last minute?
I think it's always been Paolo. I think that Orlando just kept it under close wraps, and you saw a bunch of money moving because of the value, 22-1 for Paolo, and it being really a three-horse race. So a lot of people, smart bettors, said, listen, like, anything more than 3-1 is a good value. And so people put a lot of money in, and it started shifting the markets. And then I think the market shifting started changing how teams were thinking too, because they're like, what's this about? And then, you've got Woj, who's had a horrible 6 months trying to make calls and figure it out and squash rumors. Just a terrible look for your boy, like tough. And then you could see on his face too, he was like, through the broadcast, his eyebrows were like at an angle the whole time. I was like, keep it together, Woj. I know it's a rough one for you in the mention. Welcome to my life, So, yeah, I think it was like more and more it's going to be chaotic as the draft becomes something we can bet on. And it's the only thing that's information-based versus just a competitive sport, So it's going to be one hell of a ride. And I think we're going to start to see these newsbreakers maybe be – I don't know, like regulated in terms of how they move and what they alert books. And like, Woj is going to get a $7 million offer from a sports book when his contract is over. Now imagine that sports book being either influenced by Woj's news in the betting markets or screwed over by Woj's inaccurate news and how that would affect their relationship. Tough, even tougher night.
Disgraced reporter Adrian Wojnarowski is headed to jail for 15 years following.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. I mean, Craig Carton went to jail.
Rogue NBA insider. Yeah, and got a job in New York the second he got out. It's amazing how that works.
It's amazing how it works.
Trysta Krick, we've got to let you go. You've got a live show to do like in literally minutes. So
I know. Love you guys. Talk to you soon.